So that looked like a lot of fun. But Dan, what can you tell us about UTRGV basketball?
Yeah, the women's team had a game on Saturday. The men were on the road. But before we dive into sports, I want to mention two things. One, this week there was a buffalo at school. Why? I have no idea. I don't need an explanation, but that was cool. The buffalo shortly left after he couldn't find a parking spot. But on to number two, and this is important. Let's pull up the picture right here. On my sportscast last week, I looked ridiculous, or at least more ridiculous than usual, because as you can see, I was rocking the alfalfa right here. I'm incredibly troubled because my amazing teleprompter buddy and UTRGV radio rascal Mark Lopez did not inform me that I looked slightly homeless. So to publicly shame him, I want to, Mark, come out here. Mark, please come out here. Mark, please come out here. Mark, please come out here. There, plus, oh, thank you. Anyway, so here's Mark. He's the culprit that allowed my hair to look like a wet Shih Tzu puppy that just went through a tornado, and I rewarded him here by making him famous. He's like Taylor Swift, and I'm like Kanye West, except for unlike Kanye, I'm not $53 million in debt. I'm $55 million in debt. Hashtag tuition. All right, Mark, that's enough. On to Vaquero Athletics. Last week's UTRGV women's basketball team fought incredibly hard as they have a shorter roster due to injuries, but they did end up dropping their one game of the semana, 57-59 against UMKC. It was a heartbreaking 2-point loss, although there were plenty of great performances from the team. You've got Anushka Maldonado here with a nice pass off of a kangaroo knee, but she had a near double-double with 11 points and 8 rebounds. And Shantae Goff, per usual, was an absolute star, lighting it up with 25 points there. She scored from the perimeter as well as inside with drives to go, and also she had 4 assists. Another key cog for the Vaqueros was senior Raquel Preston, who brought it defensively and also scored in double digits with 10 total points. Nevertheless, UTRGV did lose 57-59 against UNKC. On to the men's team. They also had a tough time against Missouri, Kansas City, traveling there and playing in the Municipal Auditorium, but ultimately they dropped the tilt 58-75. Dan Kamasa came off the bench for the Vaqueros with a big-time game from the line. He made 9 free throws to go with his 17-point day. Everett Osborne, who was the one starting in place of the big man, he had 10 points to go along with Antonio Green's 12. Green had 2 threes, by the way, and he was busy all night, playing all but 2 minutes of the entire game. Still, UMKC got the win thanks to 30 points in the paint and having out-rebounded the Vaqueros 41-24, which led to 34 second chance points. As for track and field, they were in Houston for the second consecutive week, competing at the Howie Ryan Invitational, and both the men and women's teams had plenty of success. Firstly, Carissa Wiley set the program record in the women's high jump with a 1.70 meter result that landed her 3rd place at the meet. In a few other top 5 finishes, Javier Carretero competed in the men's weight throw and threw 17.51 meters to finish 2nd. Jennifer Zapata finished 3rd in the women's 3,000 meter run, and she teamed up with Felicia Willis, Roxanne Vidari, and Teresa Silva to get 2nd place in the women's distance medley relay. And lastly, Uriel Matute had a fantastic 49.71 second time in the men's 400 meter dash that was good enough to net him 2nd place. And to close things out, women's golf competed at the All There August Challenge in New Braunfels, placing 12th among the teams competing there. The squad had a pair of top 50 finishers, including they had scores of 234 and 235 respectively from Michelle Morales and Geraldine Torres. And it was a jam-packed week for UTRGV Athletics. Next week is just as big. We have homecoming results. That's it for me. Tune in next week. I'll give you $1,000. 1,000 doll hairs. Doll hair. Get it? That joke killed in 2nd grade. Anyways, reporting for UTRGV TV, I'm Daniel Galvan.
And remember to like us on Facebook and Twitter. If you have any story ideas or tips, email us to utrgvtv@gmail.com.